Okay, so today I'm going to do a culmination of what I did the last time, where I was kind of going over my gimmick decks and trying to make like a final version of them or a definitive version of them. Right, so we showed off all the gimmick decks last time. So now I'm going to simulate sort of my own tournament as if how they would go against each other, right, and how that would look. So I'm going to show you for a second here the bracket, right, and then we'll get into it. So we'll see how it's kind of the art of gimmickry is that they might all seem like bad decks, but if you play, right, it's like the art of minimalism. If you play bad decks against bad decks, then they don't seem so bad, and then it all evens out. Like if you play an old school format with the other card games, like old school Go format Yu-Gi-Oh or something. So we have the Explore the Fire, which has Explore Angora Zinazari, but it also has the Iron Juggernaut fit in there too. The one where you keep flipping it back and a bunch of other bombs, right? So you can kind of choose which path to take. Then Renounced Darkness Warlock with all only Warlock legendaries, which kind of pressures you and forces you to do that. Then we have the Karnasa, right? The Hunter. We also have a bunch of random stuff in there, right? That is almost inexplicable because you just kind of have to fill the space. The Evolved Shaman is very cohesive, just like every Evolve effect in the history of the game. Anti-Spell Druid with the buffs, which we also have the Anti-Spell Mage, but I kind of excluded that. And then the Buff Paladin, which those are kind of the worst too, are the Hunter and the Paladin, because they don't really have a transformative card. At least maybe there's a newer one that I don't know about, but and then the old Whizbang and the new Whizbang. So we're going to start off with the first matchup is going to be, again, and then whoever advances will face the winner of that. We're going to do Explore the Fires versus Renounced Darkness. That'll be our first match right here in a second. And that is going to be, yeah, this is very organic because I've always love these tiny gimmicks, and this is going to be very raw and authentic. And let's also see how long it takes. So I'm starting around 8. I don't imagine most of these games would go on for too long, but maybe they will because they're both so bad it kind of evens out. So again, that shows you can use like an old school. Wait, why is there no sound? Wait, that was happening like the last time too. Hang on a second. Okay, so that's going to be our first matchup. It's going to be the Gimmick Warrior deck. Again, Explore Angora Zinazari, which again, the sad part with some of these is the best way to play them might be when you don't use the Gimmick, right? Don't use those, but you could use it as a last resort or fit it in there somehow, but you'll probably just ignore that and play the other stuff, the Iron Juggernaut Flip, which is... This is like my favorite gimmick deck concept, at least from my old school formation of them. My favorite old school gimmick deck, which is Iron Juggernaut Flip, where you just use the Brewmasters and flip Iron Juggernaut back to your hand to try to put as many mines into their thing as possible. Right, versus my favorite card, maybe in the history of card games, Renounced Darkness, super fun, super, dynamic. So we're going to start this in just a second here. And it's going to be a very interesting... Again, let the decks speak for themselves. But they're all bad, so it kind of evens out. So that's the art of minimalism that I try to talk about. It might seem dumb. It might seem bad. But you... oh my god, hang on a second, man. Jesus Christ. Like how... Alright, so what you have now is the ability to... really here we go. All right, so this is gonna be game number 1. This is all very authentically done, so this is gonna be it, dude. This is pretty exciting. So here we go. Whoever wins. This is gonna be Explore the Fires versus Renounced Darkness. Right, my favorite, it's quite fitting. My favorite gimmick, which again was something as simple as, trying to flip the mine back and try to keep doing that with the Brewmaster, versus my favorite card, which is Renounced Darkness. But let me try to play it somewhat optimally, where I don't just play the gimmick. We can maybe make the most of the... that's a pretty good curve, actually. Get 2 spare parts, summon 1/1 boom bots, shuffle boom bomb into your opponent's deck. I'm not too big a fan of those. There's also like a little Nazal thing that goes on with it. Like, it's absolutely wild. So the Warlock one is a bit of a troll because there's nothing in the... There's no 3 or 4 cost cards. And there's only 1 2 cost minion. And the other 2 cost cards are just... You're going to get cucked on that. You have Malkazar, obviously, ultimate fun factor to impact things. And you also have the ability to... Elise Trailblazer as well. So this you could get off almost to a fast start, and the Warlock could be in trouble because you're playing like some sort of weird version of Handlock where you're trying to get as many cards as possible, but you can get really in big trouble because it can be a problem. And if you know that going in, then you're kind of screwed too. But you don't really want to do the... You don't really want to do... Sometimes the gimmick will mislead you though, but you don't really want to do the Brewmasters because, you know, you're trying to save it for the Iron Juggernaut or even any of the other bombs. So there is a certain play that you get here with the to try to recover, right, with the Warlock, and that would be the Anatheron capability is in there, right? So, you know, I could flip this back for the bomb effect, but I don't really want to, but I kind of have to. I mean, it's kind of a waste because you'd rather see that for Iron Juggernaut. So yeah, now you'll see, like, okay, Anatheron is going to save you from the Handlock cuckery a little bit, but you're kind of waiting for Renounce, or you're trying to just survive the you're trying to just survive the early game, right? And then you got the 5/5. You don't really have a ton of other good options here. Let me think. You know, that Anatheron does kind of make up for it a little bit, but not really. I mean, you're kind of screwed. Like, either I have Renounce, or you just kind of keep playing on the board. Like, I don't know whether you should do it or not. And you kind of have to go for the Shredder, even if... Right, like, the Warlock could just get cooked right now, because these bombs, in addition to everything else, are just going to destroy you. So in 2/1/1 Boom Mon Shuffle Bomb, that's not really the time to do it, though. You have the 5/5 for 3, and I could flip something back. I guess I don't understand what I should be doing. Like, maybe I won't worry about it. Go face there, I guess. And then it allows you to basically realize that the Warlock is basically screwed because you're not going to be able to do anything. Now, you do have some high-cost legendaries with this. So either you could decide to Renounce Darkness, or you could do it as a last resort. So let me try to think here. I guess I just don't know. I mean, even that's kind of dumb now because you're going to overdraw. My hand is full. But it doesn't matter. Again, this deck is kind of top heavy in a very strange way. Now, if I do lose, if the Warlock does lose, and you think like, okay, you should have... Or wait a second, now I get renounced too. So, I mean, the Warrior obviously is going to win this. Like, there's nothing to be said about it, but this won't even work. And Warlock cards, right? It wouldn't even matter then because I don't have Warlock cards. We could do this and... Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I don't know. There is so much untapped power in this world. Maybe that wasn't even worth it, but again, the Warlock has been in tough, dire straits the whole game. But what you can do is you can... you may feel like you have to do the... I don't know what's going on. This will be a massive... You could make a recovery here now, but it's going to be pretty tough for the Warlock, right? They're just so low, and the bombs are probably going to take them out. You just keep spam bombing it. Or there's nothing too impressive about what they've done here. Turn a friendly minion in your hand, which would be very helpful with the Renounce thing. I guess a lot of these cards aren't too useful right now. Sometimes you just got to make the best of what you have, because I don't really... I don't know, like, really what I'm doing. But again, the bombs alone should be able to take out the warlock here. So again, the warlock is in a tough spot, but now you do have some of these legendaries that could drag it out. Let's see here. And again, the Renounce is going to be teasing you as far as what the best time to use it is, but...
This party is to die.
Give him in your hand, summon this. So... I don't know. I shouldn't even tap then if you were gonna be... This is weird. Like maybe that's what'll rub you in your face. Like maybe you should have renounced a long time ago or something, but I don't know. And there was always a good flip interaction with that thing too. The dry whisker, like, oh, you could use, instead of the Iron Juggernaut, if you had to play defensively, you could always do the dry whisker with the flip, right? There are many classic moments like that. So this Warlock one might actually be better than I give it credit for, because if you can last this long, then you have a lot of good things going for you. Right, it's going to be hard to... You're like so top heavy that it ends up being kind of one-sided there. But if you just last this long, then it becomes problematic. So now the warrior would be on their heels and kind of relying on the bombs. That's going to be a little bit tricky for sure. Right, like this is already looking very, very questionable.
What now?
This might actually be worth doing, because there's nothing I can do about the... Even as inefficient and stupid as it is, again, some of these cards are... That might have been actually objectively the best play, because... whatever, you're not going to be able to deal with that otherwise. Yeah, this is the top heavy nature of it, but you're not going to have any healing or things like that necessarily. So even though this seems a little bit busted, if only you had more of the bombs or something to do with this, because... And unfortunately, it's hard to combo that with anything, but... Oh no, I messed up. I could have... Damn it. Okay, you know what? I'll even give the benefit of doubt that that could have been something that would have happened, so... And, you know, some of these cards are not going to have the entirely intended interactions, but... like, what? How many... This will be the heal thing now. How many demons do we really have in here? I could be misplaying, actually, quite a lot of things here, but... Yeah, Anatheron back. So, it's, again, it really all comes down to the bombs. Like, can you actually do something with this or not? This could be actually valuable. Right, but you're so close to dying now, it's going to be tough. Like, how are they not drawing the bombs, though, at this point? That's what I don't get. Yeah, maybe some of these legendaries make this one a little bit too strong. Because even though I'm rooting for Renounce, you don't need to use Renounce. You almost gotta make them work. Like, using board clear here would be kind of suicidal. But... right, there is no
Existence is
rhyme or reason to some of this. Yeah, it definitely seems to be favoring the Warlock now, so you would almost have to rush it down sooner, or again, you would have to get the bombs going, which we never even got Iron Juggernaut at all. Like, how does this make sense? But the bombs alone might be almost enough to kill you here, is the thing. Right, if you get to... Okay, now it's starting to come together. Right, if some of these go face, that could almost do it for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you almost have to hope and pray for it, like... It'd be more useful if these go face than actually... That was still a productive use of it, I guess, but... But so you get him within... You get them within lethal. That was actually a pretty epic game because there was a real chance. Right, there was a real chance because if they'd drawn the bomb... Right, there was a chance there, despite maybe some misplay. So we got the Renounced Warlock beats with the extremely top-heavy capability. It's actually interesting. It's kind of the inverse of what you were thinking. Like, well, think about it like this. The Warlock deck is top-heavy, so it's going to be good in the late game and bad in the early game unless you use Renounce, but then those are kind of in odds with each other. So, oh, the Warlock deck was good in the late game, right? But the Warrior deck also kind of punishes that because, oh, you're going to have all these bombs in your deck. So if you do last out to the late game and you really don't have any reliable healing or something, so even though the Warlock's going to be better in the late game, if you do get to the late game, then the Warrior's going to have something up his sleeve. Like, oh, all those bombs are going to go off and kill you. So that was actually extremely awesome because even though the early game seemed to favor the Warrior too much and the late game seemed to favor the Warlock too much, the reality is that there was still a chance, right? Because then the bombs start to come back, and then the bombs start to come back, and then something else starts to happen. So in the early game, you are kind of cucked because Renounce isn't happening, or you're kind of forced to play Renounce and nothing else is there. So again, the Warlock is bad early game unless you play Renounce, then it's good late game with the top heaviness. The Warrior is good early game and then has like the life support, life raft of the whatever it's called, of the bombs later. So the Warrior's eliminated, the Warlock moves on, and then right, so the Warlock is waiting in the wings. Now we can do the Hunter and the Shaman. And there was one Hunter thing I wanted to actually change about this. So we can look at it here, 1 second. That there's a couple too many good cards in there, and so I want I wanted to almost replace something here. Maybe like Tavish with the dude with the Tundra Rhino for the Karnasa thing. Because you let's check something here, hang on. But yeah, so that was actually kind of cool because I was doubting the Warlock at the beginning, but then it made a good comeback. So it went from one extreme to the other. It seemed like it was one side in favor of the Warrior, and then one side in favor of the Warlock. But they both had their chances, right? And a lot of it came down to the bombs. This is going to be the Evolved Shaman, which is one of my favorite ones. Very thematic, very organic, very fun. Really, this is like a love letter to the game that's just so awesome because you're trying to maximize the fun factor, and the two that ruin it are the paladin. Like usual, they ruin the fun in classic WoW and stuff too because they're such a auto attack clown fiesta. But you know, just whatever stupid class that they are. So 1 second here. This is a really fun format though. All right, so what we need to do is we need to let me make one change here, and the reason why is because I'm going to take out the, because you have Rexar the hero, you have Zul'jin the hero. I'm going to take out Tavish because he just seems too good and too annoying. It's not the kind of thing you want in here, so... Or maybe I could take out... Yeah, let me take him out. What does this thing do? The Tesalash, whatever that fucking Titan is. I forget what it even does. Well, I don't know what is this shit. What does he do? Some of these like guaranteed value cards, like, you know, you just get value by playing them. Like even the hero cards, you don't really have to. What does he do? Like these cards are kind of cancer because they're too strong. 3/3 Enforcer with taunt. 6 mana 3/7. What else does it do? Yeah, like it does too many things is the problem. Give your weapon after your hero attacks, draw a card. And then this one is... Give your weapon +2 attack, your hero is immune while attacking. That doesn't seem actually that crazy. So I make a decision. Either I get rid of... I'm just trying to think about the logic of this, because it has the Karnasa thing, then it has the Arcane thing, and then it has something else. So either... Like which card is stronger, if I could compare them? Beast... Like, is there a way to really simulate that? Which Hearthstone card is stronger? Comparison. Tavish or the Titan? Tavish versus Agrimar. And it's kind of like random, but... It's impossible to really know, but I feel like Tavish is probably better because you can keep doing the hero power as you go on, right? Summon an animal companion. That seems almost too good, and you kind of emphasis on Rexar, right? So what I'm gonna do is put the Thunder Rhino in here, because how can you not have that if you're gonna? How can you not have that if you're gonna be doing the Karnasa thing? So, what these decks also have very few of, just to keep in context and in mind, is the simple fact that you have no... you tend to avoid duplicate cards. And the reason why is because... right, you tend to avoid duplicate cards because you're trying to... I'll deliberately not put in a card that would serve the same purpose of what I'm trying to achieve, just because I'm trying to do variety. So like the Serenite Chain Gang is a good example, right? It's a situation... Oh, maybe I should have shown... Whatever. So this is game 2. This is going to be Hunter Gimmick deck, Karnas's Brood, and other things. And obviously the Evolved Shaman. Okay. And the point is that... Oh god, now what? The thing is, okay, let's concentrate. So we have the Marsh Queen. You don't want Zul'jin this early. You don't really want that thing at all, but whatever. Gimmicks is what it is. No, like, I would put the Serenite Chain Gang in there, even though I have the other Chain Gang too, the Azurite Chain Gang. And why not put 2 Azurite Chain Gangs? But I don't want to do that. I want to do it for the pure variety of it. So I'm rooting for the Evolve one, I guess, here. But there's no way to guarantee anything. I don't know. The Evolve one is actually so fun because it's very straightforward, but it's no random, and you're trying to make the best of what you get. So you're doing like an in-game, you know, internal draft. Now, there's no point in doing that, really. You got some of these cool avatars that I get to show off. Thirst Trap Ner'zhul versus the less edgy Sylvanas, but still kind of edgy. Her personality was kind of the same. This is the problem with this Shaman deck is you try to get stuff to stick on the board, and if it doesn't stick on the board, then you're kind of in trouble. because that's often a problem that I see with it, is the fact that, you know, you're trying to develop board presence, and if you get board presence like a mid-range Dream Delight, then you can really punish them and take advantage because you can evolve. But if there aren't too many minions in here, especially low cost, so you can get easily caught out with an empty board, and then you're almost guaranteed to lose because you can't do anything. So I could do the mutate as well. So you should probably do that second if you're gonna, or I could do both. Like, I could do both on the same one, or I'm actually kind of satisfied with that. So you go here. I don't know why I even did that. I'm making a misplace. But yeah, it's a situation where you're kind of trying to, in your hand and deck. Okay, I mean, again, it's hard to assess really. In fact, you're kind of in trouble already because this Carnasa thing is going to be very weak. I don't know what's even happening. Okay, let's just see. Unstable evolution. You want more stuff to stick, but you almost can't afford to do that. Like, this is a 3 cost. And it doesn't matter, right? As far as the health. Like, that's what Evolve acts as. It's going to be one of the few healing effects that we have in any of these decks because, right, you can trade in as much as you want as long as it doesn't die, and then you can heal it, and you can always try to correct here if you're not happy with one of these ones that you get. But maybe the spell burst will come into play. I don't know. Kind of want to share the love a little bit. Like, don't overcommit to one thing. This is made by John Carpenter over here, the Thing from Another World type vibe. After it survives damage, that could be very fun as well. So you have the Arcane Shot, which is not too impressive, and you kind of don't want to mess with that. There's a lot of things that these decks really don't have. There's not much silence, there's not much removal, certainly not single target, not much AoE. So you're really emphasizing playing on the board, which is sometimes a dream come true, but you can't do that because so many, you know, you kind of have to force it almost. Trigger a random friendly. Wait, what? Wait, I don't even know what happened. Or it's just showing me. I don't know what's going on with some of this. Like, some of these mechanics aren't even going to be relevant or come into play. So you have, well, this will survive damage, so this will be good. In fact, let's try to go here. You got a Divine Shield. That's a very cool card as well. I like that. So I'm not saying I'm playing even these perfectly, but look at what it does. It brings out, like, you actually have to care about what's happening on the board. You actually have to fill your hand. Like, I don't know how to explain it. You have to actually respect what's going on a bit more instead of just, okay, I can just trade in, I guess. But it makes it actually relevant instead of, oh, we're just going to use removal and silence and whatever, a million different things, which you could say that's part of the game, but sometimes it becomes too much a part of the game where I don't know if this is really even the right time to do it, but there's nothing else I really can do, so you kind of forget about the Carnasa thing. You don't have to play into it too much if you don't want, but again, this is where the shaman is in trouble. If they don't have any minions here, it doesn't matter what kind of position they're in or how much evolve you have, right? You really have to make the best of the, and in fact, this cucks their ability to get the benefit of that anyway, to survive damage here. That's actually not a bad one, but I should maybe do more. But it's kind of an overcommittal type thing. Okay, I'm happy with that. 8 cost 13, and it has a negative battle cry, I guess. So random equals fun. That's kind of the game philosophy. Favorable, fill your opponent's hand with random 1 cost minions, which would have kind of been what we just saw happen anyway with the Carnasa. How fitting, how appropriate. It's like a synergistic thing, but it didn't actually have any relevance. So is there a way that you're not totally screwed with that 13 just about to wreck you? Because it doesn't matter, you know, it really doesn't matter what's happening, because, you know, you may get Carnasa, but it's not going to do much for you, honestly. Right, like, I don't know what we're supposed to do with this. Like, hooray, we get Carnasa, and then we can do a, you know, a combo with the Thunder Rhino. Like, you know, the Berserker Soul draw a monster card thing from Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a good meme for this one. But, okay. So you don't want to evolve now. You know, keep this around, try to get it. But yeah, the Shaman is often minion starved. Don't have a ton of low-cost minions, and don't have maybe a ton of minions in general, but you have a lot of evolve effects, which are mainly only good in an AoE sense where there's many things out there. And so what that means is you're going to be almost starving for... You're going to be almost starving for... I mean, you're gonna get hit by it anyway, so I don't know what to do with that. I mean, starving for minions. The few that you do have are gonna have the double up effect, but this could be really tough. I should do this first, although I don't know exactly what the point of it is. Or wait, that was the dumbest thing I could. Oh, what? I don't know what I was thinking. This could actually be good because, or if only I could do both. Because like, oh, they might be legendaries are good, but you know, they might be a little more disorganized than that. But damn it, I was rooting for the Shaman too. I could have maybe made more out of that. I kind of misplayed with the I don't know, this Hunter one almost seems too good. Right, like you do have a lot of high quality cards in there. Like what was the card that really broke it open even? Borrowed decks. Like what was really the thing? What did I do that was so good there? Like the dormant steeds were kind of good. The arcane stuff didn't really come into play. You're kind of mashing things together. The Halazi thing works pretty well with this. I almost don't want the Agromar, but or the Hydrolon. Like some of these are just too good. Some of these cards are just too good. Why is Lorthamar even? Oh, because you want to do it with the Carnasa. Yeah, this almost seems too good in a way, but so the Hunter won that. So the Evolved Shaman. The first one I got what I was rooting for. The second one I did not. And so it's a situation where I'm going to update the bracket here. Again, I'm not saying I'm playing these perfectly, but that seemed maybe a little bit too one-sided, I'll be honest with you. So let's see what we got here. We got Carnasa, even though that's not necessarily how these decks are winning. Evolved Shaman can get in some pretty big trouble at times, though. So Carnasa moves up in the world. We could see that matchup here. Right, so it's going to be Carnasa versus Renounce, and then we're going to do now Anti-Spell Druid versus the Buff Paladin. Right, so give me a second here. So Anti-Spell Druid, so we're excluding the Anti-Spell Mage, just because I think this one's maybe better or whatever. Anti-Spell Druid, and the reason why is because... Again, the origin of this one is AoE buffs. That might seem silly, but there's a card in there that's going to be like, yeah, some of these cards are meant to be old and bad, but that card was bad even when it came out. It's a 4-cost card that does an AoE buff that is like +1 attack, +4 health. And it's like, oh, that was the coolest thing ever at the time in my mind because, oh, these elusive minions that you can't target with spells or your opponent can't target with spells either. I still want to be able to heal them effectively or buff them effectively. And wow, I can give them the +4 health, so they're even harder to get rid of than they already are. So I was so satisfied with that from a certain point of view. And it's just like, you know, that was the impetus of why Druids, and over the years, Druids have gotten some pretty good elusive minions, but this was before they even had very many, or before there were even very many in the game overall. But that was those were the two classes I chose for the elusive gimmicks, was mages, because you have like counterspell, and even some of the other secrets like the ones that copy like splitting image and stuff like that, you might think, oh, what does that have to do with elusive? Like counterspell is at least trying to counterspell is the same way that the elusive mechanic does. But splitting image and some of the other ones, because what they do is they try to preserve the minions all the more. It's almost like a Raphael type thing from Yu-Gi-Oh, where he, whatever, if you know the thing where he's like he hates letting his monsters die. He has like a bond with them, so he always tries to protect them with other cards, or whenever they die he tries to bring them back. So, like, he has the one set fixed of monsters, so you're trying to make these elusive minions as hard to deal with as possible. And the reason why is because, again, so you're doing AoE buffs to minions that otherwise can't be targeted, so that seems kind of thematic. You're supporting the elusive mechanic, whether they're elusive minions of your class or not. You're supporting it by AoE buffing / healing them effectively with some of these AoE buff cards, which druids did have a lot of, or some of, and they weren't necessarily very good, but just that seems like a good use of that mechanic. In Biggin even I would use with that, the ways to impact and buff things without needing to directly target them. And then the mage one was the impetus of just counterspell, and I don't know, I feel like some of those other secrets, like there's not a ton of support there, but just trying to counterspell as much as possible. So this is going to be the gimmick deck for the, wait, I'm already forgetting. This is supposed to be the gimmick deck for the anti-spell druid. Hang on a second. Okay, so now we're going to do anti-spell elusive druid versus the buff paladin. So the two decks that I may be rooting against the most are the paladin one and the hunter one, because they're kind of just not really gimmicks. They're just kind of a bunch of random stuff. Right, not really in the spirit. Like that evolved shaman was much more fun, but it just didn't work. You might say, oh, some of these are just dumb luck, but isn't that like the meta anyway? There's a lot of RNG and other shit, but you know, you're gonna have some of these mechanics. You obviously have Galvadon there. You have a bunch of buffs. Those are kind of distasteful, though. It's just weird. I don't know. Some of these cards are too high value, or like I added too many things over time that would make it too good. But if you look at some of the philosophies behind it, it's still interesting, because it's like, oh, you're trying to, like, the problem is though, the elusive mechanic here isn't as strong as it might normally be, because what happens is you I don't know, you have a situation where there aren't very many removal spells in any of these, so it really doesn't matter. Elusive lifesteal, I may as well just leave that. Nothing I can do. But yeah, as much as I love elusive, the paladin's obviously going to win. Because, well, not really, though. You could get off to the races and get the Lorthamar interaction. It's kind of boss, but now some of these effects might still work, because you I don't know.
My client has the heart of Achilles.
I don't know what exactly is going on with this, but all right. So this is interesting. It's 3 less if you're holding another dragon, so that's very, very crazy value. And this is I think a brand new card from the current expansion, so that's just fortuitous luck, though. Like, how many dragons are you really going to have? There are quite a few. In fact, Galakron, by all accounts, should be the favorite expansion because of the sense that of mine, because it came with a lot of elusive minions, right? To this day, a bulk of them maybe came from there. Okay, let's see what we got here. Again, you're going to see a lot of buffs from the paladin for sure. And that's going to play into the whole Galvadon capability, which, again, might constitute a win condition, which goes against the whole thing of this, but this is cute, but I mean, it's a tough turn, but this is kind of a cute thing, because I can summon a elusive poisonous thing, and you couldn't use removal on it even if you wanted to. So, like, that's always, like, a good arena play. Like, oh, they summon a big 10-10, and then you just summon this. Or like, even not even that. Like you trade in, and then you play that at the end of your turn for only 2, and then whatever big thing they were planning to summon next turn gets kind of ruined by that. I don't know exactly. You could adapt, or maybe what I should have done. That maybe was a mistake. I should have maybe, I don't know, adapt the thing to give a divine shield if I was doing that. But okay, this is good. And in fact, this seems cute, but I shouldn't even do it because, right, the 8/8, we can do it together maybe in the same turn. Some of these cards are going to seem laughable, but okay, you have
The plane of water shall fall to us.
I'm going to 2/2. You almost have Galvadon ready to go. Doesn't really matter if that thing dies. Okay, so now you have some good options here. The taunts are very important because, again, you're not going to have any defensive room to play with here. And so it allows you to probably, what makes sense is, well, I kind of want to get rid of this, but the poison, I don't know. This is tough because, again, if you get Lorthamar here, it's basically over. You might have a good chance, but if you don't, you're kind of screwed. So,
I will not forsake.
see, we just wait here for a second. So this is going to be draw 2 minions, set the attack health and cost to 2. Your other minions +2/+2 of all enemy minions to 2.
Cease your quarrel at once.
Yeah, some of these cards are a little busted, to be honest, and maybe don't fit with the gimmickry of it, but yeah, you get prize here. This is the one that inspired this whole deck. Like, fuck. Yeah, maybe that's what ruins these a little bit, is like, this would be cute, but I mean, Lorthamar would have been the one that you really want to see. Elusive Lifesteal, Taunt, Elusive Taunt, give your Spell Burst, give your hero 8 and 8 armor. I don't know. I don't know what to do. This has life steal and stuff, but I mean, you're not going to have removal for it obviously anyway, but it might not matter here. I don't know. Hey, you have like Galvadon incoming as well. So
I do love a good study session.
I guess I just don't know what's going on. Or, oh, fuck, I fucked up. Or can you not even have two? I don't know what's going on.
Open your minds to the light.
Yeah, now it's just a mid-range nightmare that this deck is just not suited to deal with this right now, so there's nothing you can do. Yeah, that's too bad. Damn it. These Paladin and Hunter ones ruined the damn thing. I almost want to exclude them. Right, they seem almost too good and too dynamic. I don't know. Like, it's over, obviously. There's nothing you can do. And you'd have Galvadon coming, like... Again, if I had gotten Lorthamar... It's like a best case scenario type thing that you get with these decks. It's like... If you... It'll look different if you... Whatever, in the best case, but... You maybe won't see too many epic comebacks or anything like that. Because you do have some power creep newish type cards, don't get me wrong. Some of the odd ones in there, but... Imagine, it's a bit of a mismatch though. I should have committed harder to the old school stuff, but... you know, obviously there's no point in doing this. But yeah, you can't judge it by one game. It'd be like, right, it could have easily been where, oh, they got Lord Thamar and then it would have at least had a fighting chance. But so unfortunately, the last two have shown a little bit of an imbalance with that, where the two decks that I really don't want to win, one, the Paladin and the Hunter. Right, I'm not too happy about that. Let's go ahead and update the bracket, and we got a couple more games coming. So it's a situation where we'll have the last of basically the first round here. And the reason why is because it's going to be Whizbang versus Whizbang, which there might be a problem here as well. It shows you I didn't really put enough thought into this, but so the buff Paladin wins, anti-spell Druid loses. Pretty unfortunate. We got this. So move this over here, and then we got the old Whizbang versus new Whizbang. And the thing with that is the fact that, again, we'll see for ourselves. Like, it used to be like, okay, it would give you a standard deck from that period of time, and then maybe they changed it. Like, it can give you a I thought that's always how it was supposed to work. It can give you a standard deck from the current thing, from the current expansion, which in that case it might even be too strong compared to some of these. But it's a situation where, you know, it's just not clear because I don't remember how it works, or they kind of changed it. Yeah, it's going to be old Whizbang versus new Whizbang, and that's kind of deliberate that they should face each other. That way you can't get overwhelmed by, you know, where the final can't be Whizbang versus Whizbang, because they're obviously, they're going to knock one out earlier. Otherwise, that'd be kind of dumb, just in case there is some consistency issue with that, right? We don't want to see too much of Whizbang here. This is like my New Year's special that I did with the, whatever, where it's trying to see which Whizbang would last longer or something. So again, the newer one might be a little overpowered but inconsistent, and the older one, I don't know, because it's just kind of random. Yeah, this is going to be the last of the first round. Then we only have 3 more games. The particular, what is it, Whizbang versus Whizbang, and then, right, OG Whizbang versus the Boomer or Zoomer Whizbang, newer one, however you want to call it, which I haven't played very much ever with the new Whizbang, to be honest. But when, I don't really look up the decks for him, but they're just all kind of random stuff that you can have 30 of the same card, or you can have, you know, weird stuff in there. But I think there's an inherent disadvantage to them. Even if you think the decks with them are good, it almost doesn't matter because you can't choose which one you're gonna get. So it ends up being kind of pointless, right? You're trying to, oh, like I got this really good deck and won with it, but it's a situation where, what is happening? What? What is going on? Yeah, like I honestly don't know how the other one works, because what the hell is going on? Oh, this might pose a little bit of a problem. I'm not sure. Oh no. How does this work? Hold on, I'm having a bit of an issue. Okay, you know what? It's a bit of a complication, so let me just do this for a minute. We'll just try this out. So the tournament's on a break for a second. So again, we were gonna do Whizbang versus Whizbang, then we have 3 games left. where that'll be the Renounced Warlock versus the Carnasa Hunter. It'll be the Buff Paladin versus one of these whiz-bangs.
Your soul shall be mine.
Let's see how good these decks actually are.
Expensive cards, so you can draw them later.
Okay, dude. Okay. Because it won't let me do wild. Oh, God. I have 20 cards. What's to attack opponent's turn? Okay. Like when they make you do this, you play, you know, whatever new account, but you have to play against bots. Like there's no way this is a player. It's not that hard to, you know, have better cards than that. 3 bottom cards, draw one, destroy the other. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, but probably thing is you just don't know what you're gonna get with it. And in return, destroy format 7/7. Obviously everybody's favorite meme. I probably shouldn't have done that. I mean, again, this can really get you in trouble because even if I do that, it doesn't mean that
You get accustomed to
it doesn't mean that's necessarily going to be good. But you don't want to do all this because you're going to mill yourself too hard. Because like that's cute, but then you're gonna die, right? Like it needs something. I guess I'll play into it if I don't get it. Right, like you're getting a lot of things that could be useful here, but or wait, oh, I could have already done it. I thought, never mind. Like I'm gonna lose to fatigue, like if I don't end it quickly, which of course we're playing against a very high quality opponent here, but whatever. So let's see what we got. Taunt, lifesteal, make a portal. So it'd be interesting to see how this would fare against some of the other things. Like on an individual basis, this might do well, but again, you don't know what you're gonna get or how you're gonna use it. But this one actually does seem very good. You have to withstand the barrage of some of this. It could be very hard to deal with. Right, like I'm a little bit worried about that because that might have been a little bit too good. Or yeah, you can even do that. Wait, why is that even in here in a normal sense? Or did I discover that? Oh yeah. I just love that card because of my whole Iron Juggernaut fixation or whatever. So hurry up. Yeah, that seemed to work. So I mean, you'd have to withstand that, which is gonna be hard to do with this type of shitty gimmick decks that we have. So what you have now is the ability to oh god, is he gonna make me do all this shit, man? What is this, man? Come on, don't make me do all this shit. Ugh. Are you fucking kidding me? Like really, what? I don't understand. Like you would think, okay, you can do it by just crafting a wild card, but I can't seem to do that. Reddit won't even let me look at the... What? Right, like that's so dumb. It won't even let me do that. Just to play Whizbang. Like, are you kidding me? I can't even... Like, what if I reverse it? Okay, so I have... I don't know. What's happening? Ugh. Whatever, I'll just do this, I guess, for the way to cuck my fucking tournament, dude. So, see, like, let me just pay you money then and let me do that, but... Again, you're not even getting good games out of this. It'll just be against bots, so I love that. Like World of Tanks, I have that criticism. Oh, you got to play a certain number of games before you can unlock multiplayer or playing against real people. But then you're playing against bot, like, or until you can play ranked or something. So you play against a bunch of bots, and it's like... The Origin Stone, which I don't actually remember what that even does. Again, these whiz-bang things are really... I mean, they're not even real decks that you can really make. Right, that's what's so fun about it, is like... It literally is breaking the rules, which I would do formats like that actually in other card games too. Like there was a, you know... I don't know. You could like... What? You could pretend you do a tournament and it's like... Oh, it's like the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. You beat your opponent and then you take one of their cards, their rarest card, right? And then, but even if it breaks the rules, so like, oh, you can only have one Jinzo, but now you can have more because, you know, because you beat them and got it from them. So you kind of end up establishing things that break the rules over time. Okay. Next turn, summon 2/1. This is the most, I can't resist elusive. Draw, you should always draw a card first. I guess I just don't know what this is, but I mean, this one would have been potentially very vulnerable because the wisps are so shitty anyway. After you discover a card, this plays the other options. But if these are the only cards I'm discovering, then what the fuck? Right, like these are the only things in there, and... Or, oh no, never mind. It has to do with the cost. Okay. Oh, so that could... Yeah, these could end up being a little bit overpowered, honestly. Right, so one of the whiz-bangs might just win the whole thing. It's kind of annoying that I have to do this thing. I'm not too happy about it. Deal 3 damage, play a minion, gain 5 armor. And 3/3 beast. Okay. So now, if I was to do it, you're still not going to be able to do it because, like, you should maybe save those now, because when you go to discover it, or a neutral minion that you can afford to play. Okay, so I could afford to play a lot better than that. Origin Stone, okay, what's it gonna be? The, draw another taunt, reduce cost by 2. Do that. And 2 empty mana crystals. Discover, then you can keep, wait, isn't that what it's supposed to be? This plays, after you discover, this plays the other options. So... Okay, so play the other options, fine. You empty mana crystal, your next hero power cost 0. I don't know what's even going on. There's too many options. Just do this. Do this. This one seems a little vulnerable and slow, but it can work out really well if you use it the right way, which this is kind of difficult. And again, it's not like these matchups are very meaningful, but I cannot believe I have to do this right now, though. I was trying to demonstrate something, but now... Okay, we can do that. And refresh mana crystals. And... Draw another taunt. Wait, oh, death rattle, deal damage. Gain 3 empty mana crystals. Go here. We can do this, do this. So yeah, this one seems like it could have been vulnerable. We look how long it's taking, even against a very shitty deck, and then at this point it can start to become good. In 300 mana crystal, then you can't fit someone at 3/7. This should start to become very good because you can give me like a 10 cost, but it's just not. Tong, gain 5 armor, nature spell. Let's do that, I guess. Just summon 3 of those. Summon 2 Treants, +1/+1. Each Treant died this game. Kind of over committing a little bit is okay. So this could take a while though, and I'm not too happy about it. It's just an uninviting way to design a game. Like, oh, you have to go through some AI tutorial type BS, bots and stuff. Like, why do you have to do that? You go here. Summon 2, 4/4, whatever. I'm thinking maybe too hard about this, but I'm just kind of seeing how these decks work. But it's just kind of a waste. You get that, draw a card. I mean, yeah, these have some sort of upside to them. It'd be interesting to see how these really fare against the other decks. Again, one of them is going to get knocked out. I wonder even how the other Whizzbang works, which I was going to find out, but now I can't, so I just don't know what to tell you, man. So stupid, man. Like, imagine making me do this right now. Like, why do I have to do this? Why? Oh my god. Get it over with. I don't care.
For the wild.
Oh my god.
The gates are open.
Reporting for duty.
40 rank system. I don't know what's even happening. I don't care. It'll be the wisp. I almost thought it was gonna be like the whole game. I didn't really look at what it did, but these would be kind of the gimmicks that I myself make up. Like, oh, but you can't break the rules by having too many of the same cards. Whatever happened to that Titan MMO that they were even doing? Blizzard was doing something like that. Titan MMO. Canceled MMO fell apart. Or it could have just turned into an expansion for WoW, where like your player becomes a Titan, like, you know, because that's relevant to the lore actually too. Just you know, you gotta have some Yogg action here in here too with some of these gimmicks, but it's not exactly which one is it in? It's in the like the Hunter one, but whether you'd be encouraged to actually play it or not, I don't know. It's actually kind of excruciating. I really don't want to do this right now. Like, are you kidding me right now that I have to? Like, please, please just let me do this. Like, I don't want to do any of this shit, man. Please, please, please. Thank God. Thank fucking God. Oh my God. Please, just make this shit. I hate those kind of compulsory things so much. Because yeah, if I want to go on the ladder and get my ass beat or whatever I want to do, like, why does that matter? Like, you know, you think, oh, you're at a disadvantage or you don't know what you're doing, but it doesn't matter, right? Like, so just hurry up, dude, please. What is not playable in standard and wild format? Okay, can I make this wild or not? Is it not allowed? Like, fucking clown shit. Okay, finally. Let's do the whiz bang in a second here. That was very upsetting, but thankfully I could avoid it. All right, here we go. We're gonna take a second here, and what I'm gonna do is the whiz bang versus whiz bang. Then we got 3 games left. Simple as that. Okay, so here it is, a legendary Whizzbang versus Whizzbang matchup, which we've done in a different sense too. The fact of, you know, whatever, just trying to see which one will do better against other opponents, but this is kind of which one does better against itself.
Versus the
And for some reason, the Lich King as the avid. Or wait. Or is that just by chance? Wait.
There can only be one true king.
I don't even understand. What? It. Wait. No, I think it's just by sheer chance. Trigger the death rattle. I don't know what even this is, dude. Like, why do I have... Or no, this... I don't know what's going on. Oh, okay, all classes. But the other one is genuinely a Death Knight deck, I guess? Is this a current? I'm so confused, honestly. Summon a random minion of that cost. I don't know about that. Let me check something. Like Blood Draw. Is this a current card, which would... Or like at least from the current year or something? Across the Timeways. Are these all from Across the Timeways? Like Poison, Breath, Hearthstone. Don't tell me they're all from the core set. Memoriam Manifest. What is going on? Like, so could it be from different past expansions, or maybe it's all from the current? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. So it does work in a current sense with the old Whizbang, so that might have a major advantage, because if you're familiar with those decks, you could definitely take advantage. That might ruin the whole thing. Rewind, summon 4/3/2 shades, they gain bonus random effects. I don't even understand how the runes are going to work with this. If you... Like, what sense does any of this make? Give random minions something. Enemy minions cost 5 more next turn. This is so confusing. Like what? How can they both be Death Knights anyway? Summon 4/1/1. Oh my god, this is so confusing. Summon the highest cost friendly minion. Destroy all minions. Like, maybe I should do this. This is like mind-boggling. Because again, if you're familiar with the meta, or even if you're not, like, just the power creep of those alone is going to be crazy. But then again, you can't guarantee which one you're going to get or how it's going to work. But on average, it's just going to be too good. So if that was to win, that'd be kind of BS. But I myself am not even familiar with the meta, so... But if you could ride out different Whizbang decks randomly to the championship... Die at the end of turn. Okay. This little cube guy is kind of interesting. The destroy friendly minions, summon a copy of that at the end of your turns. I guess I just don't even know how some of these effects work, but discover a spell from your deck. This is so confusing, man. Rewind must be replayed once for a potentially different outcome. Summon, discover a spell from your deck. Okay, that was pretty good. Do nothing. Timeline is perfect as it is. Okay, this one is just gonna break your brain, honestly. It doesn't seem too lopsided. It's just... I don't understand. I honestly don't get it. Wait, how did this get reborn and... Oh wait, it just looks like it has a reborn. Right? Isn't that what the crackles look like? Summon 2/4 elementals of taunt death rattle. Discover spell. 3/3 elementals of every school cast you've cast this game. Oh my god, man, what is even going on? I don't know. So like, I don't even remember now which one is which. But no, this couldn't be this is the rainbow one, obviously. Oh my god. This is so confusing, man. But I'm rooting for this one then. Fuck the meta one. This is like absolute mindfuckery, man. What the hell is going on? Give it taunt and lifesteal, adjacent card, give it reborn. But yeah, this weapon is gonna be kind of important.
You've been known.
What the fuck is this? What is happening, man? I just don't know what to do. But it looks like, yeah, we're totally rigging this in the favor of I don't know. Deal 2, deal 3. Deal 2 twice. Okay. I mean, this should be over, but now... Or no, it is over. Okay, I'm happy with that. So the old Whizbang loses, even though it tries to metagame with the standard shit. I'm so confused. Like, I don't even know what happened. I have no idea what's going on. So, am I even correct in assuming that? Like, did the new Whizbang win or what? I honestly, my brain broke from that. Okay, so Whizbang 2.01. Other one got eliminated. I just can't even explain what just happened, but it's so confusing. Like, because I'm not familiar with the meta anyway, but even the other one, I had no idea what was going on. So we get rid of the old Whizbang, which was working with current standard decks at least, or it might. I don't know how it works, honestly. Like, is it just going to be the current expansion, or is it going to be... It could be any from the last year, last set, last... You know, whatever... I guess it would be anything that could be standard, so it doesn't have to be brand new. Okay, so now we got 3 games left. Renounced Warlock versus Carnasa Hunter. So I'm rooting for the Renounced Warlock, but... Again, it kind of sucks, so there's not much I can do about it. This is like my final love letter to the game, though. It's like, I just don't care about the meta, or I don't want to put the time in or whatever. This is what I've always enjoyed doing. So the Carnasa Hunter is going to be obviously one of those that I'm not the biggest fan of, but let's see how it does. Again, some classes are just challenging to really do gimmicks for. I could have done more with it's like I excluded Priest and Rogue altogether just because I don't like them. Or again, it seems like there would be a good gimmick there where you steal a lot of your opponent's cards and, you know, do like Yogg-Saron afterwards, but just those classes never really interested me that much. But maybe there's a good gimmick that I'm missing in there. I just almost didn't even consider them. Priest in particular is especially boring. They can be good value, but they can be so... Like, you could say the same thing about Warrior, I guess, historically. Like, they can be kind of slow and control and stuff. But they have a few cards that are transformative, like Explore and Goro Zin Azari. Even if you wouldn't be tempted to play them in this capacity, it's still... whatever. So yeah, this will be the... like the semi-final matchup. And the reason why is because this Hunter deck is annoying, but we'll let it speak for itself, and then it will be... Obviously my preference is to see this reach, see the Renounced Darkness do better. Oh wait, I'm not even... Okay, whatever. This is going to be, again, a pretty one-sided matchup in my preference of, like, I don't want the Hunter to win, but I'm not gonna, you know... Whatever happens, happens.
I stand for my people.
I see the machination.
Okay, so we have Renounce. Again, I'm not gonna guarantee or commit to playing it. What you really want here is Anatheron in your hand, and the reason why is because... The problem is, again, the right way to play these is almost to ignore the gimmick, and I can't really, you know, force that, but... And again, Malkazar are a good way to impact your deck without interfering with Renounce, unless you happen to get a Warlock Legendary from it, but even then, it's, I don't know. Okay, so you could do renounce. The only reason really not to would be if you that's the thing, you will never know. You could lose and you didn't play renounce, and like, or you didn't play it early enough, and you might regret and say, who knows what you might have gotten. Maybe it would have won you the game. You never know. Right, but and everything in this deck is, besides Malchezaar himself and the cards he generates, and Elise Trailblazer and the cards she generates, the Ungoro pack, those are the only thing that whatever are going to remain after you renounce. So you do have a lot of good legendaries in here. Galakrond's a bit of a troll. I have a soft spot for hero cards. I try to just put like almost all of them or several of them in these decks just because you can either use them, you know, one after the other in some sort of synergistic, not really synergistic way, but whatever. You gain armor. That's the only healing you're going to get because none of these decks really have healing. And, you know, you can make the best of each effect and decide when to switch it up. But, okay, no Anatheron to be found. So, I mean, you know what? Let's live or die with the gimmick, because whatever it's going to be, if you play 2 spells, deal 2 damage, okay. Do the evolution, why not? Is this going to give us some evolve action here? It's hard to really say what is going on with this. Give a friendly minion +3/+3, 2/3 wolves, get 2 chaotic tendrils. But like, I want to see the best player in the world like do that, where you know, you would like the hunter one is actually looking kind of lame right now, but you don't know, like the pace of this could be crazy. Rest of the game, your overcards cost 1 less, overload card costs 1 less. Deal 8 damage. Come to 3/3 each spell school. Summon 3 wolves or 2 falcons. Get 2 1/1 chaotic tendrils. Okay, let's do this. 3 2/3s or 2 4/3s. I guess probably the taunts might have been better, but yeah, let's see if the hunter one can pull something together here, because a lot of these are going to be very situationally relevant. Or wait, oh, I forgot. Your friendly minion +3/+3, deal 1 damage to all other minions. Again, the overload thing doesn't seem relevant because nothing here even has overload, so it doesn't matter. I guess I don't know. Okay, we can go here, go here. Again, I'm rooting for renounce, but sometimes if you want to do it, you got to commit to it early, because otherwise you're not going to have much going on. So again, Rexxar in himself is a gimmick. That's almost the card that this deck is based around. I just want to see a lot of custom fun zombies come together, but there's no way to really support that in a meaningful way or force you to do it. It's just kind of there. Don't know really what to do here. Overload 1. I guess I'll just do this. I don't know why. Just play like a basic value thing here. Like the overload thing doesn't seem to matter. I mean, it would have mattered with that card, but I like this. Yeah, renounce, kick butt. Don't give him a chance here. It's going to be this is a bit of a risky time, but right, the zombies can sometimes save you, but it seems like Rexxar is just going to lose now on health alone. Even though that Lorthamar effect can have a significant impact, this seems like it'd be a good way to do that, but I don't really even need it. I feel like this could be a very high impact play. Right, so now I can see if they can deal with this, which could be very difficult to do. You almost would feel compelled to do a Zombies here to try to save you, if you have like a poisonous capacity. Right, like the AoE poisonous interaction, one of the coolest things ever, and I didn't... This was very early on when the Death Knight Heroes had come out, and I'm losing to this mage, right? I'm playing against the mage, and it's one of the coolest stories. It's like, they're winning easily. Frostlit Jaina is kicking my butt. And then I'm basically giving up, but okay, I don't like to resign. So, and I have the Rexar hero. It seems so one-sided. They have a bunch of frost elementals. I have nothing going. I definitely feel like I'm going to lose. And then I make a Zombeast, and one of them is the bat that does the AoE poisonous death rattle, right? I think, and then so it ended up with a rush with the poisonous death rattle, or with poisonous, and it has the death rattle deal like 2 damage to all minions. And so it was able to, with that 2 damage from the death rattle effect, it was able to kill all the frost elementals that they had and reverse the game. Like, that is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. This one seems really over. That's kind of crazy. I'm actually so happy about that. That seemed like a legitimate win for Renounced Darkness. Imagine that shit, dude. Imagine that. Not to get too cocky, but that was fucking awesome. What would I... Oh, man, that's so cool, though. See, that's encouraging because you... Maybe those tendrils could actually fuck you up, though, is the problem. Right, like, I didn't even look at them or consider it. But I don't see how you're going to get out of this one unless you do get an interaction like that with the imagine if I do. Just when I was talking about it, but... Bro, because, like, I had no faith in that game. That's one of the classic interactions ever. I don't know what this is, dude. There's just no recovery. Right, even if you get Karnasa here, it's not going to save you. Or the zombie should have happened. Right, Karnasa's not going to do anything. Nothing's really going to save you here. You got to hope for like one of those interactions like that. Damn, he got actually cooked. It won't even matter. It won't even matter what I do. Wow, so we kick out the stupid ass hunter with a good renounce pull. Look at that. That is a triumphant moment because I was kind of worried that hunter one might be too strong, but renounce for the win. We get it to the... We get it now to the... I don't know what we're at. Okay, so now we have 2 games left, and it's going to be let's check a bracket for a second, and then we're going... This is so cool, man. All right, so we got rid of that stupid hunter deck again. Kind of an odd one out, but still nice to see it go down. And so we got Renounce in the final against the either the buff paladin or the new Wizbang that we're going to determine right now. And so buff paladin versus new Wizbang, going to be what is it here? So I would prefer the new Wizbang, but obviously I don't know what's gonna happen here. Even that was kind of encouraging, right? That the new Wizbang beat the old Wizbang. Let's see here. Alright. So again, 2 games left. Very fun thing that we did here. Very interesting kind of way to simulate what this would look like. And just something... I'm pretty satisfied with some of these because it shows you it's not as one-sided as I thought in favor of some of these, like even the what was it? The Hunter, I guess, is the other one that I was kind of rooting against. It's because there's a lot of filler cards in there that unfortunately aren't part of much of a gimmick or are just kind of good value on their own, but whether or not that'll ruin it altogether, I can't say, but it'll at least subvert the gimmick a little bit because, again, there isn't much of a gimmick or you can get away with not playing it as much. So this is going to be... it's a situation where... Okay, let's see what we got. What is it going to be? It is going to be the new Whizbang versus the buff Paladin. Right, that is what we're trying to do here. And so we don't know what we're going to get from the new Whizbang, but we do know that the buff Paladin is a little bit boring, unfortunately, but still a high bar relative only to these gimmick decks. You get the Galvadon, which is a bit of a win condition, even though wait a second, is it going to be the same one with the stupid druid thing? Is there could be, what are the chances of that? Like what do you mean, dude? I'm playing, this is like that one time it bugged out and gave me the same thing over and over with Renounce. I don't know what's going on. Alright, we got this. I guess you just spam Innervate, or wait, it's not going to be Innervate this time. I don't get it. Shouldn't it be giving me... I don't know whether you should play those immediately always or not, honestly. Because again, the Paladin doesn't have as much of a clear gimmick to it. But there's just a lot of cards. I guess one of the aspects of it is the fact that it's all Paladin cards. So you get some of those neutral benefits, which, again, isn't really all that fun. But that's the most important thing here. I don't know. But this druid one, you almost want to wait a little bit and get value from some of these things later. I wasn't understanding exactly how to play it before, but we still won. Wait, what am I misremembering? Didn't I... Why? I'm so confused. Didn't we get the Death Knight versus the Death Knight? So how did we end up seeing this one just now? What happened? I'm so confused. Oh, it must have been in one of those other games that I was playing. Never mind. Like on the ladder, I was just trying it out. Okay. Sometimes I end my turn too early when you can obviously benefit from stuff like that, right? Especially with all these random effect heavy decks that you have. That's one of the great piece of advice you could give with them. Wait, I don't know what I just did. Okay, shuffle 3 asteroids. Okay. Or wait, why did I even do that? If yeah, there's always like that balance between, you know, what is most fun is not always going to be the best, right? Like, oh, Yogg is going to be fun, but it's going to be, I don't know. Could get out of hand a little bit quickly here. So I'm rooting sort of for the druid, but it's gonna be tough. But yeah, like what are the chances we see the same thing when we've only played this a couple times? And so, but it starts out very slow. Right, it starts out very, very slow. And okay, let's see what this is gonna be. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm sort of sabotaging it. I don't know what I'm even doing. Okay, we threw, but even if we didn't, I don't know what would have happened. Right now, this is just going to be too good value, ultimately. Just try to rush them down, which there's a certain internal benefit to rushing with these decks because you're not going to have a lot of healing necessarily. But this was just kind of too slow paced to do anything, and so there's nothing you can do. All right, so the Paladin will make it through very quickly at that too. That was kind of underwhelming. Not really meant to be aggro per se, but just that druid was kind of miserable. And again, I maybe misplayed it a bit, but whatever. So we have only the ability to... Man, that was really, really fast. Okay, let's show the updated bracket once more. We got the finale incoming. Old Wizman got knocked out. So of course, I'm rooting for Renounce. We got Buff Paladin versus Renounce Warlock. And so let's see what we got here. 1 second. Let's do... Once again, the Renounce Darkness, the most fun card in the history of card games. Possibly every card game should have one like that. Or, you know, that's what I would say about like the modern meta of card games, with all due respect to them, is like people might go along with it, but it's kind of one of those recency bias or whatever type fallacies, is that you value it because it's current, but it's like, you know, is it really what you would choose if you thought about all the history of the game? Like, oh, maybe you'd like some other format better, or maybe, you know, make up your own format and rules and stuff. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. Like, you're just kind of going along with it because it's current. But, you know, like synchro summoning is a good example in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll just bash that. Like, nobody really asked for that. Oh, I wish the first turn would go on for like 5 minutes and I just play a bunch of stuff out of my hand and out of my deck instead of playing on the board. Like, there's really nothing, I don't know. There's really nothing to it. So this is the grand finale, Renounced Darkness versus the stupid Paladin, Light versus Darkness. And so it's a situation where I definitely want Renounced to win. It's kind of nice that it even got to the final. And so I chose to play it, I guess, at the right time. Really, the main reason not to play it is you're hoping for Anatheron there, but it doesn't mean that you're going to get him. Let's see what we got here. Go here, and just... Okay, dude. So, did my misplays maybe determine the outcome of one of those? I'm not sure, but probably not, honestly. I don't think it would have made that big of a difference, but you never do know with stuff like that. But yeah, between all these, there's so many random effects, so it's kind of like... It's easy to say, like, oh, you made a misplay there, but you wouldn't have known. Like, oh, just play around this thing that you know, play around this thing that you didn't know they were going to have, because it's not even something from their class, or it's not even something from their, you know, you couldn't have known. Oh, play around this card that you didn't know they had, that came from another class, that came from a discover effect. Like, it'd be funny to kind of say that in practice, but you don't know that that's going to happen, you know what I mean? So it's not, even in the meta, sometimes there are cards like that, so it just becomes kind of a crapshoot. So here we go. This is actually the finale, Light versus Darkness. Very nice theme to it. The ultimate fun versus the least fun class in the history of gaming, both in classic WoW, where it's just an auto attack fiend, versus an actual fun, very unique class in WoW, actually. Like, I don't know how many classes like that there were in RPGs, but it's one that you always kind of look for. Like, where you, oh yeah, you have damage over time stuff, but to commit to it that hard is kind of rare to see. Where you had so many different damage over time spells is a little bit unique, but no, paladins were very boring in WoW, so only fitting that even as you try to make them fun here, they would be boring as well. But no, you want the Anatheron, and then you get best of both worlds. Do Anatheron, do Renounce, or something similar in the middle, but we haven't really seen Galvadon or the Paladin have to go all the way with any of the mechanics. Like, they're getting a little bit spoiled here. Again, even if you want to do Renounce, you shouldn't do it yet. You should still tap and wait a little bit, right? Play it almost like Handlock, but there's no benefit aside from those two cards. And again, it trolls you because there's no 3 or 4 cost card at all, which is deliberate. It should be where you don't have even a 2 cost card aside from Renounce, so then you wouldn't have a 1, 2, 3, or 4, where you take out that other thing too. The whatever the 2 cost guy is, I forget his name, but you know, that way you're really getting punished. But I feel like at least one of them is fine. You have at least 4 cards in there that could be potentially beneficial to you at the beginning. You know, I forgot Mucklo was even a 5/6. I forgot they did that to him. Might be fitting to do. It seems kind of a waste this early.
The heart of a hero.
In fact, let's really the buffs even play into the benefit of this deck, obviously, so very thematic. And again, some of these buffs are a little bit underwhelming and stupid, but I honestly couldn't tell you so far who's gonna win this. Come on, give me Anatheron, and then I could totally, maybe I shouldn't wait. Like this could get out of hand very quickly, so I'm gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna do it and see what we can. And I always like when you get a couple of 0-cost spells, because you could really take advantage early, right? Like you could make an immediate recovery that turn, the same turn you play it. This could be good, but you're not gonna be able to, I don't know. That's such a cool moment too. Like, oh, you do renounce, and then you got to really look over everything and decide what you're gonna do with it, and kind of see what you get. It's like you're doing a draft in the middle of a game, right? You're doing a pack opening in the middle of a game with the least Trailblazer. Like, it's such a fun, dynamic thing to do. Like, I hear you like draft, so you don't even have to do it, you know, like Magic, open a pack and then, you know, decide what you do. No, you're deck building in the middle of a game, kind of. I don't know what this is. This is just a fun card in and of itself, but there isn't really much of a gimmick to it. What you could do is you could basically, I don't know. You got to think about like what phase in the game you're at, and I just don't know what is gonna happen here. Right, you gotta sometimes use that principle of like share the love. Don't overcommit to one thing, no matter what it is. Don't buff it too much. Don't, you know, put too much effort into it. Then it makes it punishing if they get rid of it. But again, the reduced cost of Renounce and the fact that it can include all kind of different newer cards would tell you it's a card that kind of keeps its relevance. Obviously, it was never good, and it's still not good, but it just... let me see. This is kind of a tough turn because everything is going to be slow. Everything is going to be very, very slow. Right, like maybe just do it like that. This is tough. This is very, very tough. It looks like Renounce is probably going to lose, honestly, but they have so many buffs, so many options. Let's see what you got here. Probably be better served, honestly. You could just go face, but right, just this level of board control sometimes is enough to win. Like, you just, it'd be hard to recover from this, right? With whatever random stuff you got. Even though you have so many good cards, it just doesn't spend the rest of your mana and gain +2/+2, Divine Shield. I honestly don't know. I forget what this even does. So let me put my fate in the hands of something. I forget what it does. After your attacks gain, oh god, that's not gonna help. I guess Renounce is gonna lose, maybe in part because of misplays that I made, but damn it, it'd be too easy to win now. This Paladin one is maybe cancer. And some of these end so quickly, like it's turn 6, turn 7. This Paladin one is just annoying me. Fuck. Yeah, that's really not gonna matter much. Or maybe you should just go face, but... Or maybe that was a dumb... I'm kind of throwing on purpose now, but... you could see some swings happen here. +2/+2 and taunt. I don't know what's happening. Oh shit, I did kind of throw though. The Paladin should have won this one. Add 5 random Paladin cards to your hand. And I guess I'll just do that.
Will not be tolerated.
Yeah, but for announcements now, I'm almost going to feel bad for the Paladin because swap decks with your opponent, give them a ransom spell to swap it back, which I forget how much that costs even. Or if they have... Okay. Okay, dude. Because they... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Because now you can't... That's the dream come true. You can't do it because... Oh, shit. I don't know. Now imagine... I don't know what's even going on. But look at the craziness that we get out of this. The Paladin still deserves to win, but I don't know how. What is this? Yeah, this deck seems busted, man. Holy shit. You got too many options, man. That is kind of a bit of an overcommit, but like even after making some misplays, right, that one still gets through and then you still have more options. Free legendary invitations, which I forget what they even do.
For you are graced with my
Cover legendary minion. Resurrect your skeletons. Draw a minion, reduces cost by 8. Don't afford to attacks a random enemy. Yeah, this one might be a little bit of a problem. It just seems to have too many reserves and too many options. Damn. If it survives, give it poisonous. Okay. You have the Galvadon thing incoming. You have... This is so crazy. Double the attack. Maybe get rid of something here. Or wait. Wait, is that... Oh, it's because it's a copy, but that still kind of makes sense. +4/+4 Divine Shield. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I should probably give that to Galvadon, but... No, I say the Paladin deserves to win, but I don't really care even if it doesn't. Fill your board with random dragons. Fully heal your hero. Skip your next turn. I can't really afford to do that. Cover legendary minion, legendary minion.
I do love a good study session.
Cost 0, so you should probably just go for add a copy of your opening hand to your hand, except this card. Next 3 spells you play. Oh shit.
draw forth the moon.
Oh, but it's not gonna matter because do it twice and then we'll do it twice again. Friendly minion dies on a copy of it, dormant for 1 turn. So should it do it like what? It'll do it again because... Isn't it? I don't know. Or wait a second. Why didn't it... Oh, I thought... For some reason I thought it was +7, +14, not just set to that. So you could do the Galvadon now, or... This is very, very strange. The stealth is kind of the main thing that you have to get. And... Stealth until your next turn. Wind Fury. Maybe the +1/+1 would have even worked. And you can buff it even further. Elusive would actually be kind of bad because you're gonna, you know, you don't even necessarily want that. So this is the Paladin's last chance maybe to win. Get rid of the Divine Shield. I guess I forgot that that one thing wouldn't be able to attack. So what do we have here? You have another invitation thing. Shuffle 7. And the only reason why maybe you have a chance here is because you switch with the deck. But I mean, I guess things like that can't happen. Shuffle 7 replicating spores. into your deck. Summon a 0/1, going for your opponent. This is in, well, this is in your hand. This is a 3/4 copy of the last minion you played. Take control of an enemy minion with this health or less. What is this? Wait, 2 health or less? What do you mean? Oh, okay.
I will not forsake you.
After you cast a spell, okay, I probably misplayed something there, but okay, do that.
Cease your
And then
quarrel at once.
so even this thing's beating itself basically, because I'm so confused. This deck is beating itself because I switched, but then it's still, you switched, they couldn't switch back, but it still is doing that. And of course that messed up the whole Galvadon thing, but 3 copy beast. But that's the way that Renounce would have to win. It'll do something weird like that.
True strength comes
Because yeah, even Galvadon got cucked. Riley, that's the way you would beat it, is use it kind of against itself almost. Oh, that's, oh god. Man, this paladin one is kind of cancer. Other minions +2/+2, and then
To the light.
we have kind of too many options here, but I don't know, I'm not even playing this right. The Warlock was able to beat the Paladin deck, but almost with the Paladin deck, so Renounce found a way to win, even though within all reason and likelihood, right, that's kind of a troll way to win. You can't beat the deck normally because that Paladin one is almost just too good, but Renounce somehow beats it anyway because it steals it with the fucking stupid random thing. Right, so within all reason, that Paladin deck is busted and probably shouldn't be in here, but right, so busted that the only way to beat it is to steal it. And now we'll do one final surprise game in which we'll use that one other deck that I was talking about, the Elusive Mage, and we'll do that as like a Champions bonus game against the we'll do the Renounced Darkness Champion Warlock against the Elusive Mage, right? Because we did the Elusive Druid. Right, anti-spell druid. So for Renounced Darkness to win that, and for that is actually going to go down in history as something special. I'm even rooting for it, and maybe again I made some misplays and maybe I have some unconscious bias that's filtering in there, but it's like now Renounce will get a winner's bonus round against this Elusive Mage just for the heck of it, but I don't know whether that would have determined the outcome if I made a mistake. But what happens is it was so bad that you stole the Paladin's deck that seemed like it was winning and one-sided in order to win, right? That's how much I manifested the victory of Renounce, that I manifested the victory of Renounce so strongly that I was able to even if it seemed impossible, you did it through stealing their deck. Right? You can't beat their deck, but you get the Kobold guy, and he's able to switch decks. Absolutely insane.
the cold is catching.
Yeah, this is just like a bonus. Like even if you were to lose this, but again, maybe this deck itself is better than I'm giving it credit for. Like you don't have to play Renounce, but it seems like when Renounce has been played, it's worked out pretty well. We haven't really seen the Lorthamar type interaction that I want to see. that makes these elusive decks arguably even meta-ish, not really, but where you can, there have been times where you can even beat current meta decks with it if everything goes exactly right, which maybe that's a bit of a qualifier. But if you just get, I mean, you get Lord Thamar on turn 7, you have some things on the board, and it can really snowball into something. Because how do you deal with that? How do you deal with this 7 mana 14/14 with elusive, and then the next turn another one, something like that, right? A 9 mana 10/18 Sogoth, even though that one's not the greatest value. Like, you might think, oh, by today's standards, those aren't even that impressive. But there is a sense of, if you have a whole deck filled with those, which is kind of the point of it, to kind of rub that in your opponent's face, you really can't deal with that after a while. There'll be too many of them. So getting a 7 mana turn 7 curve Lord Thamar is very important. What you're not getting here is you're not actually getting Renown, so you could be in trouble. Right, this could be difficult, but maybe I'm underestimating the legendaries. Just, you have so many good legendaries that might win it for you right there. Whenever it attacks a minion, put it in your hand. Put it, meaning put itself, or put that? That's kind of unclear card text, left to interpretation. So I don't know. So again, everything is related to either stopping you from casting spells, or, and this one historically actually was never in my deck. Right, I just recently added that as like a filler card, but maybe it's just me, but I'm getting cucked on the, like, what is happening? So you didn't get renounced, and like, it won the whole tournament. It, despite all this, now we're gonna, oh, the elusive one is better, but it's like, come on.
Someday, you'll be just like me.
Because again, some of these spells, or like a lot of these decks don't even have spells that would be usable on that. So you might think, oh, the elusive thing is cute, but it would be better in any other scenario, but it wouldn't be here. Why can't it deal 2 damage to everything? That would be what you really want. Is there something that Tamsin is going to be helpful, but I don't know what's going on. Give your opponent Abyssal Curse. I just don't know what is going on. I really don't. But it seems like now the mage is going to beat the champion, which again makes this deck seem better than what it is, but it's really not. Again, you don't have to worry about the Abyssal Curse because there's only one of those in there. Let's actually try to preserve the poisonous, because that could come in handy later. Sometimes it's better just to go face because these decks are very limited in scope, but this could be very good. Almost have to do it. The armor definitely help. But what you didn't get here was Renown, so that could get you in trouble. But again, maybe the trick is just don't play Renounce and just play for whatever you got. But again, you can fall behind in the early game, but so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna see, this is gonna be the final form. Can we see Lord Thamar with the elusive? This is actually what it's all about, versus whatever Warlock legendaries you have. But place your hand in deck with legendary minions, which isn't really gonna help right now because you have to. Now you could do this just purely to heal the. Like, I don't know what this is. You would need some effect that's gonna save you. Like, I may as well do it. But you're basically already dead anyway. Like, what is it that could save you here? Spells have lifesteal. You spell in your hand. Yeah, all things related to spells, which now you don't have. So, like, I don't understand. Put it in your hand. It assumes it's the minion that you're attacking, but whenever your opponent draws a card, whatever. Plus 1 less. Each minion died this game. Solarian Prime. Okay. Like, oh, now you could do Lotheb or something, but it's not going to matter because whatever. You're not going to have any spells anyway. This seems like an inefficient way of even dealing with it, but yeah, the mage probably deserves to win this. Like, I don't know what effects here are going to matter. Like, is there anything that's actually going to help me? clear the board or what? Spells have lifesteal. Like, spells are not what it's about right now. Put it in your hand, and that should be helpful. But, or that's kind of cool to see something. I've never seen that, I don't think, as a standalone minion, which it obviously isn't, because then I would have it in one of my decks, because I always obsess over the elusive minions. But it's a situation where, yeah, let's see, Sogoth, even though he's a bit outdated and just underwhelming, this is really, this was the coolest thing ever, though. Just the way that everything turned out with this. I wish I maybe didn't make some of those misplays so it would feel a bit more authentic, but I didn't really do it on purpose. Just sometimes I move too fast and stuff. Let me see, what kind of good curve play can you even do here? I don't know. Spell burst, which you're not going to have. But yeah, even, will it maintain its stats or what? Because you really can't do a whole lot right now. Right, like that's effect is crazy, but there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, spells aren't even going to be relevant anymore now. And you can't even get through this, like, it just doesn't matter. So again, you could trade in easily, you could take that shit in the hand, and then you could basically wait, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, we should flip this. I mean, this is gonna get kind of out of hand a little bit.
My past cannot change me.
Immediate synergy with what is this, dude? What is this, dude? What is this? Okay, so I'm confused. They'll give you a taste of your own medicine with the elusive here. It seemed like the mage was doing pretty good, and then now it's gonna fall off. So this is with the Rafam effect of the replace your hand and deck with legendary minions, right? That's what we're playing off of. So they're gonna be pretty low on health too. So you gotta summon two things. So whatever the most expensive combination we could do is, and then we can do another one. Maybe we could do it like this. Or even though I maybe could have done something with Kolagarn. No, I almost wanted that to win, but there's not going to be no recovery here. So Renounced Darkness, the Warlock is the best, even though under very different circumstances, where you don't use Renounce, where you do use Renounce, where you use Rafam, like, there's so many ways that it can be impactful here. So it won the winner's bonus thing too, right? But that was at least interesting. The mage started out really well there, where I was thinking it might actually have a chance. So one thing you could question with it is, like, should you keep them a secret? Like, let's say you were playing that, right? Like, should you keep the gimmicks a secret, or should you? I guess you really can't, though. Like, think about that. Okay, you keep it a secret, so you only know what your gimmick is, but you don't know what the opponent's is. Because, yeah, like with the secrets that you have there, if you know what they are, then doesn't that kind of ruin it? Like, you kind of know what you're going against, but I don't know how to factor that in, but that was pretty fun. It's a good example of how that would look.